Now,
Welcome to day 3 of my 10-day resilience challenge. I'm very pleased to be here with you. It's an opportunity for everybody to learn my model as well as to determine your levels of resilience along my 9 pillars of resilience and success. Yesterday, we talked about your relationship with yourself. Today, the second pillar is your relationship with others. And the question is, are your relationships supportive, comfortable? Do you feel safe in them? Or are they stressful, uh, leading to some uncertainty of maybe concerned about the judgments of others? So we have these different kinds of relationships that can either activate our stress or help us feel a sense of safety, security. And that dichotomy determines whether in those relationships we're activated and thus another source of stress, or whether we are able to be calm. You know, I did an interview last year with Bruce Lipton, the best-selling author of Biology of Belief. And we had an interesting conversation around environments. And he had done this amazing study in which he took stem cells and he put them in 3 different petri dishes. Those are simply containers that keep those cells alive. But he had 3 different types of environments. When those cells developed, now they started out, all of them, as the same cell, same type of cell. But as they developed in these 3 different environments, they developed in different ways. One became a muscle cell, one became a nervous system cell, and the other became the tissue cells. The point of that is that the environment in which they were in determined what happened to those cells. And we can say it's true for us as well. The environment we are in makes a difference in terms of how we feel and how our body functions, really. And so there's 2 aspects of this I want to talk about that have to do with your relationship with others. One is your choice of relationships that you put yourself into. Now, of course, we know that some relationships we don't have a choice about. Work environment, we don't have a lot of choices. And usually with family, you know, those are givens. But first, I want to talk about your choices. And it's very important to think about and make a discrimination about your relationships, because ultimately, where you do have choice, you want to be with people that you feel safe and comfortable with. So here's one aspect of relationship with others is the choices you make and the environments in which you're in. Yesterday, I talked about the Gottman ratio. What's the ratio yesterday in your self-talk, positive to negative? Now let's bring that same concept into your relationship with others. I will challenge you right now to start paying attention in your relationships to the interactions. Are they more positive? Are they positive to 20 to 1? Or are they closer to the lower level of 5 to 1, where Gottman said relationships are in trouble? He was, of course, talking about marriage couples. But we can apply this to all the relationships in your life. So take a moment now to put in the chat how you see the relationships that you're in. Are they supportive, loving, caring, helping you keep your nervous system calm? Or are they more challenging? Are they stressful? Or can the other person in your relationship tend to be critical or judgmental of you? Maybe competitive with you? Put in the chat what your experience is with your relationships. So here's the one side of it, which is your choice in how you choose relationships. How well are you able to make friends? And then are those friends that are supportive and loving and caring? Okay. This is all part of pillar number 2, which is about the environment we place ourselves into. Now, let's take the other side of the coin here. Now, let's talk about the relationships that may be stressful. And this could be in a work environment, it could be in a family environment, it could be in a friend environment, even though there we do have more choice. But let's say we're in a stressful relationship. How do you handle that? A lot of people that I work with talk about how they are impacted by these stressful relationships, making them tense, making them anxious. Okay. How do you handle those relationships? Now, here is where you have responsibility toward yourself. Are you able to set healthy boundaries with others? Are you able to say no? A lot of times we have difficulty saying no. We're concerned about hurting the other person's feelings, not satisfying them. Sometimes we think more about the other person than we do about ourselves. So here it's about how you are able to be assertive, set boundaries in your relationships. Being assertive means, hey, I have needs also. Am I able to be assertive to make sure that I get my needs met? Am I able to be assertive when another person is intrusive with me? Now, remember, we have this second skin that encompasses our bodies and encompassing what I refer to as our morphological field. Some people we feel are too intrusive. They get under our skin, so to speak. How are you able to set a boundary so that that doesn't happen? Let's talk about a work environment. People could be stressful there. We could have a boss that's, aggressive, negative. How do we handle that? So you want to be able, even though you can't maybe say something to a boss, you want to be able to create your safe boundary. And this is a mental, creative, intuitive process where you imagine this wall between you and the other person. And this wall has the properties of stopping any toxic energy from entering your safe space. So here we have 2 different directions for this notion of your relationship with others. Discriminating the relationships you're in, being capable of making and creating healthy relationships. And then on the other hand, being able to take care of yourself in these relationships. So one of the tips I want to encourage is first, start making your discriminations. And what you want to do is spend more time with healthy, supportive relations and less time with relationships where you have to work harder or are toxic. And now the second tip about our boundaries. Ultimately, we want our boundaries to be flexible. And by flexible, I mean that when we're dealing with people we love, we feel safe with, we want to be able to take down our boundaries so that we can absorb the nutrition, emotional nutrition of the relationship. But you want to find some way to put a wall up, a psychological wall. And this you need to be creative about in order to stop that negative energy from reaching you. So they could be speaking. Sometimes I say, imagine a glass jar over that other person. And when they speak, their words have color. But you see that those words with color hitting that glass jar and not reaching you. So today, notice your relationships. Notice how well you take care of yourself. This is how well you are, your level on the second pillar of resilience, your relationship with others. Good luck today. I appreciate all the great comments I've been getting from you. Share this information with others. You can go to the links to purchase my book, and right now offering a special bonus if you pre-purchase now before launch on June 4th. See you tomorrow.